What's up?
Just A Jordan, A Jim, and A Russ?
The Jordan, the Jim, and the Russ. How's that?
Thank you. Give us our propers, for God's sake.
You guys deserve propers because I will definitely congratulate everyone again when we get to the premiere of Season 2. But this was a long off-season, and we did a lot of talking about nothing, but I think we did a pretty good job, so I'd like to congratulate everyone.
Well, it wasn't about nothing. I mean, we had some great interviews. We did commentary tracks. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff out there.
We did.
But I do agree. They'll be a little more interesting when we have new shows to talk about.
Yes. And the toughest thing about it was only 6 shows. So even though it was a season, it wasn't like we had a full season of content to talk about. It was only those 6. But here we are.
This year is going to be very different.
Yeah.
We are rather pretentious, so those off season might have been a little long for some folks.
Yeah. And the number of show that a lot of people left. No, they'll be back. Anyway, so let's get our sponsor in for tonight's show.
Our sponsor this week, as always, is Discount Comic Book Service. That's dcbservice.com, where you can get great, fantastic discounts on not just Walking Dead stuff, but all your comics, trade paperback, hardcovers, whatever you like, and even at their sister sites in stock trades. So this month, which would be the October orders for item shipping, I guess this is going to be shipping in January. A couple of big ones. One is the volume 15 of the Walking Dead trade paperback, and you can get it for 40% off at only $8.99. It's only $14.99 regular price for 6 issues of comic, which is actually pretty good because everybody else, especially the big 2, their 6-issue trades are all going for $20 minimum, and you'd be lucky if there's 6 full issues in there. So $8.99 after the discount is pretty sweet. They've also resolicited every volume of the trade. So if you wanted to get caught up, volume 1 of course is only $9.99 after the 40% discount at DCBS. It's $5.99, and they have every other volume. In addition to that, they've even got the Walking Dead covers hardcover, which is a hardcover of all the covers done by Tony Moore. So it's actually a pretty cool book.
Yeah, I have that book, Russ, and I definitely can recommend it. Yeah.
And then they've even resolicited the Walking Dead omnibus hardcovers, not to be confused with the compendium, but the omnibus, which each omnibus is 2 hardcovers. So it's 24 issues in all, and those are a little more pricey, but they're kind of slip cased and very nice. But those are $60 each, and so those are kind of the big items this month. Like I said, new trade. I always like it when I get to open my DCBS spreadsheet and see the new trade going on. And then also they're continuing the Walking Dead Weekly. So the current issue of Walking Dead are on number 92, and also solicited our Walking Dead Weekly issues 49 through 52. So again, go to dcbservice.com to check those out.
Very cool. We are back in the full onslaught of Walking Dead material. With the show coming back and Halloween coming, the zombie stuff is on high priority. So very cool. So as we mentioned a little bit earlier, we were lucky enough to have some cool interviews the last couple of shows. And if anybody is checking us out for the first time, you might want to go back 2 shows and you'll catch a cool interview with Michael Rooker, who is Merle Dixon on the show, and a very cool interview with Irony Singleton, who is T-Dog on the show. So those were a lot of fun. And we did get a voicemail regarding our Rooker interview. So I'm going to cue that up right now.
Hey, this is Terry. Just finished listening to the Mike Rooker interview. I was just thinking, I know he's saying that, he's denying anything and saying that he doesn't know what's going on and he wishes he did and all that stuff, but, I mean, come on, why would AMC or whoever at the Comic-Con have this big promotion about Where's Merle? I mean, wouldn't that be generating some kind of hype to have the character, be back in the show and get people excited about seeing him back in the show? Would it be, really lucky for them to do that and then not have him back? I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a great to think about that. All right, guys, take it easy.
Thanks, Terry. That was a pretty good point. That I didn't look at it from that angle. Like, would you put all that effort into Where's Merle if you weren't going to make sure that he was coming back?
Maybe. I could easily see them doing a thing where we'll see like a trail, like he'll have left a trail that they'll maybe come upon, or we'll see like little things maybe if they can't get him to actually do the show, we'll see like somebody walking away that looks like him, or you see the back of his head, or I don't know. I could easily see that maybe doing something like that to keep the tension up, to see if he comes back, and then maybe like in the finale of season 2 he makes like a grand appearance to leave everybody on the hook until season 3.
Yeah, keep in mind they're not finished filming the season yet, so there's a good chance that even if they do bring him back, it's not till the end, and he simply hasn't gotten the script for this yet.
Maybe he could leave notes on the sides of walls or something for his brother. To let him know he's looking for him. That could be some good foreshadowing if they're going to do something like that.
The other cool thing is now that we know it's a split season and there's going to be like an 11-week hiatus, that would be a cool hook to get people to come back for the second half. Is have that last episode kind of end with him either showing up or them going to get him or something like that.
Yeah, I guess there's ways to have Merle around without actually having Michael Rooker around. But I'm hoping that we see him again soon. There was enough talk of Merle in season 1 without actually having Merle very long. So hopefully we get him back. But I don't know. He does a lot of film work. I don't know if he's going to be doing a regular TV schedule anytime soon. Okay, so moving forward, Jordan, why don't you hit up with some news? It's been a while. We haven't done one of these shows in quite a long time, so go for it.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of news. A lot of the news we would have been talking about, having been doing more new shows, was hey, new trailers out, new images from the season are out. But the series is going to be premiering. The season's going to be premiering in just about a week or 2 here. So I think we're going to skip a lot of that talk. We're going to talk about the bigger stuff. So the special edition Blu-ray and DVD sets are officially out. None of us actually have them yet, but Aaron North from Out Now with Aaron and Abe, which you can find on hhwled.com, he posted some pictures from the set he bought on our Facebook page for Walking Dead TV, which you can find on Facebook. I'd say the packaging looks really, really nice. I like the Don't Open Dead inside look of it. But not only does it come with the disc and everything, it also comes with a pretty decent zombie mask. I mean, as zombie masks go, and as masks that come with DVD sets and Blu-ray sets go, it's one of the better ones I've seen.
Yeah, and they bill it as designed by Greg Nicotero, so it has to hold up a certain amount of quality. I mean, it's not a piece of garbage. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, this isn't like the quote-unquote Batman mask or Iron Man mask you might have gotten like Target with their special editions or something. This looks pretty decent.
Yeah, the set, it's presented nicely. It's in a big gray box with the Don't Open Dead inside. We've seen plenty of photos from it, and it folds out nicely. It's not just like the set in a slipcase. It's it folds open to present all the discs and everything. It's got some nice artwork along the back.
Yeah, it's like great artwork from Comic-Con last year with the actual TV cast facing off in a parallel against the comic book art with the zombie in the middle, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing I was disappointed with was Best Buy, who's kind of like the major retailer, but if you're not buying from Amazon and you're walking into a store, it's probably Best Buy. They didn't do anything for it. They didn't run a sale. They didn't have a promotion. It was just kind of on the TV shelf in the W section. I would have liked to see, maybe a nice price for when it came out or a little bit more fanfare, but they were kind of hidden, which disappointed me a little bit. And we have lots of the special features on our site. If you go to WalkingDeadTV.com, we were given early footage of a few of the featurettes on the special features. I think probably 3 we have. 2 or 3. But I'm not exactly sure. But if you go to WalkingDeadTV.com, you'll be able to kind of sample the special features and get an idea for what you're getting out of buying this set. And it's definitely, light years ahead of the first run that they put out, which is pretty much just the episodes.
And if you're not a special feature person, you just want to see the episodes, there's another new option you can check out. Go to Netflix, and now they officially have on Instant Stream all the episodes. And it looks like they just got a deal with Netflix, AMC did, where just like Breaking Bad and Mad Men, the seasons will be put up shortly before their new seasons premiere. So that means season 1's now available because season 2 comes out in just a few days. Presumably then season 2 will become available on Instant Stream shortly before season 3 premieres sometime next year. So that's pretty cool. You can go right now and stream those episodes for just the cost of your normal Netflix subscription.
Yeah, Netflix got one right, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't even have to quickster the discs anymore. You could just watch it online.
I was saying to the guys earlier that one of the nice things, or at least one of the few nice things about them splitting into two companies, is that before you have to go, oh, is that movie, TV show, whatever on Netflix? And if the answer was yes, then you had to ask the follow-up question is, but yeah, is it on Instant Stream? If you only had Instant Stream or already had a backlog of discs, and now you only have to ask the question, is it on Netflix? Because that automatically means digital streaming.
I'm just going to make the comment that all the tech services that end in stir have not ended well. I mean, Napster, Friendster, I don't know. So
Hamsters, though, still cool.
Yeah. This is a little off topic.
Hipsters, not so much.
Yeah, not so much. One of the rumors I heard as to why they may have split into two companies. I know one of them is the obvious thing where it's a little easier for them to give quantifiable to other networks and potential advertisers, whatever, what their actual stream audience is versus what their physical media customer base is. And one of the other rumors I heard was that because of the whole Amazon sales tax thing, if Amazon decides to buy Netflix and it all becomes one company, since Netflix already split the DVD portion or the disc by mail portion into a separate entity, not a separate company, it's just a separate brand, a separate entity, that it would be so much easier to spin that off and sever it because it doesn't share the Netflix name. It could easily be spun off into its own company to keep its DVD business. And then because of all the warehouses that Netflix or now Quickster has with the physical media, Amazon can still maintain their we don't have physical presence and hire people in each state to get out of the whole sales tax debacle. So I've heard that conspiracy as well.
Wow.
That sounds fairly plausible. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I also heard that Quickster is going to be renting video games and competing directly with GameFly.
Yeah.
One quick video game tie-in since I got the segue. There is a Don't Open Dead Inside written in blood hidden in Dead Island.
Really?
Awesome.
I have not seen that yet.
And there's also, I haven't confirmed this, but there is a crashed plane in the jungle, and somebody says that it's Oceanic 815, like you can find the Oceanic logo, but I was attacked by gang members at that point and did not get to check the logo on the plane, but I'll be back at some point.
John, you recently got the Walking Dead novel, did you not?
Yeah, I was lucky to get a copy of The Walking Dead, Rise of the Governor, the new hardcover novel by Jay Bonansinga and Robert Kirkman. I've talked about this a lot on Legion of Dudes and on our Media Minutes podcast. If you want to check out a little bit more of an in-depth review, just go to hhwlod.com. You'll be able to find those shows easily. But I did want to say that it felt right. It felt like Kirkman had a lot to do with it. It felt like the same universe. You don't need to know who the Governor is from the comics to enjoy it. You don't need to know anything about the comics. It's kind of a standalone in-universe Walking Dead story. Had good tension, had good twists. I gave it, I think, an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely worth checking out for just a good zombie novel. You'll get a little more out of it if you know who the Governor is, because that's where it's going. But definitely not necessary. So I recommend it. I'm glad that some of the expanded universe stuff that we're getting is high quality. I haven't had a chance to play those board games yet, but I'm hoping they fall in line too and are a good time at least.
Now, I know they're going to be doing 3 books in total, or at least that's the plan. And you said, John, that this sounds like the first of a multi-part story, right?
Yeah. I mean, this doesn't leave off with the Governor who is in the comics. He's not there yet. So I'm thinking that there's another book after this. Maybe both books are in the. Is it a Governor trilogy or just a Walking Dead trilogy? I don't know exactly what they have planned, but I could see. I could see it being a series on the Governor, and this would be book 1, definitely.
Well, another cool way they've been filling in the expanded universe, like you were saying, John, is with the recent release of the 6 webisodes by Greg Nicotero.
Yes, the webisodes are a big deal. Jordan, why don't you give us the general info, and then we'll talk about those more.
Sure. This past Monday, which was the third, they released actually all 6 parts of the 6-part webisode series. We kind of thought that they were going to do like one a day or one every 2 days or something leading up into the premiere, but it was all at once. Tells the story of a character named Hannah, her what seems to be a strange husband Andy, 2 kids, the stepmother, and a couple other characters. Right after the zombie outbreak, Hannah wakes up in her car. She's been in a car accident, and when she wakes up, it seems that everything's already gone down. So we saw all 6 parts. They were brought to you by Pizza Hut, as you saw before every single clip, and I thought they were good. The direction was good by Greg Nicotero. The effects were good. It felt like Walking Dead. However, some of the acting was pretty terrible. What were your guys' thoughts on it?
I think I agree. I think the acting was a little weak. I thought they all had like a good moment in them. But they weren't completely solid through and through. But you know what? It was good enough for a first time out. I was happy enough with it.
Because I live in the boonies and have crappy internet, and my internet was down for until about 3 hours ago. I haven't had a chance to catch them yet.
Jim, what did you think?
I enjoyed them. I kind of agree with you guys. If maybe they had a better budget for acting, it might have been a little better. But I'm all for anything that kind of fills in this world. Like John, you're talking about the novel setting up the story of the Governor. We have the video game coming from Telltale that tells another parallel story to what's going on with Rick and his folks. And we see again, it's kind of like filling in all the corners of the Walking Dead world. We kind of gives some more context for me. I really like it. And as you said, John, it seems to all be fairly high quality so far. So keep our fingers crossed it stays that way.
Yeah, and I mean we got our Scott Ian cameo, and it was totally not intrusive at all. It was like a 2-second shot of his zombie face panning by.
Yeah, some people didn't even catch him in the episode, judging by the Facebook feedback.
So guys, Bradley couldn't be with us tonight, and he was a little grumpy, but he did leave a voicemail to let us know what he thought of the webisodes. So let's check that out.
Hey everybody, it's Brad. I just finished watching the webisodes for the second time, and I had a few comments. I like them. Whet my appetite for the next season, and it was good to be back in that world, obviously without not having to be in it for real. 6 episodes. I'm not really sure why they chose a nonlinear storytelling technique. Some of the episodes happened before others in out of order. It was kind of strange and confusing. The first time I watched it, the second time obviously it was easier to follow, but and I knew going in that, according to the AMC TV website, that this was a story of, I think it said something like one of the most iconic walkers of the TV show or whatever. I was actually hoping it was Buster, obviously, but the dead giveaway should have been in episode 1 when the camera lingered on the bicycle that had been thumped over on the ground. She walked past the bicycle and the camera just hung on it for a while, so that should have been the giveaway. We saw the helicopter in episode 1. I wonder if that's the same helicopter that we saw in the pilot of the show. The only other thing that was really remarkable to me about this was the character of Mike Palmer, who was in episode 4, The Neighbor. He was actually a very interesting character, and I'm really sad that we're not going to get to see him as a regular cast member of the show, because I think he would have been honestly more interesting than some of the people that are on the show now. I really liked him a lot, so that guy did a great job, whoever that actor was. Other than that, and then at the end, in episode 6, we find out who this lady really is. She's a bicycle zombie, and it was okay. You know, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't. The acting was a little subpar, but overall it was entertaining. Obviously the zombies look great. Greg Nicotero had his hand in it, so it was a good appetizer. I'm just ready for the main course, and we won't have to wait long. All right, take care, and I'll see you next episode.
Thank you, Brad.
Interesting note on the helicopter. I had not thought of that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he got a lot out of that character, which I've already forgotten his name, which goes to show you what I got out of that character. I wasn't truly moved by any one character. I like the kids who did not do a great job of acting. I did like the scene where they were hiding under the table, and the zombie was kind of doing like the circle around the table, and they had to just wait till it passed enough to run out. I mean, I thought there was some good tense moments and stuff, but I didn't really get much out of any characterization.
I thought the neighbor was at least the best actor, and he's also the only guy I've seen in other things that I had to pick out of the lineup. Not counting Scotty Ian, but I mean, yeah, he's been in certain things. I think he plays like a general a lot, military type characters. But he was at least well acted, whether or not I got anything out of his actual character.
Now, do you think that because I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why they put these out on the same day, and Jordan totally hit it on the head with why they split it up, because you're watching the ad 6 times instead of once, which is totally on the mark. Do you think the non-linear storytelling is the reason they had to put them out all at once? Do you think it would have been more confusing if they released one every day or one per week starting a while ago? Or
I mean, that's possible. I mean, there's all kinds of different reasons that it could have been. I mean, webisodes are not something that is done. I mean, they're not like an unheard of thing, but there's no real set way to release them that I can think of. I mean, it seems like when a network chooses to do webisodes, which is kind of rare, it's always done a little bit differently. So it's not like they bucked a trend or something like that.
No, but it just seems like a strange choice. Like, what did they get out of jamming them all out on one day? They could have stretched out the interest over a week rather than 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, your idea about being the non-linear and that it could have been confusing if you're trying to watch one at a time over the course of a week is certainly legitimate. Maybe they knew about the Netflix deal coming up and they didn't want to overshadow that. They want to let that have its own space to breathe. I mean, there's any number of possible things it could have been.
And we'll never know. I have another voicemail regarding the webisodes, and let's play that now.
Hey guys, it's Liz from the Dixon's Vixens, and I just finished watching the webisode, so I figured I'd leave you a message with my thoughts. First off, the makeup and the special effects were really awesome. The scene at the very end when the woman was being gutted and was absolutely disgusting, and it looked really, really cool. I'm gonna be honest, I almost threw up when the stepmother bent down to give the woman laying by the car CPR, and the walker on the ground started gnawing on her mouth. It was totally gross, but totally awesome. Unfortunately, I was left feeling kind of unimpressed by the majority of the webisodes. When you only have 10 minutes or so to tell a story start to finish, I feel like you need to use the time you have to build up your main characters so the viewer really cares about them. But you also need to include enough suspense and action to keep the watcher interested. They delivered on the action part of it, but I don't really think they used the time they had too well to develop the characters. Might be because there were too many people involved in the story. Aside from the main woman, who eventually becomes Bicycle Girl, you've got her ex-husband, her 2 kids, the stepmom, and the neighbor. For me, that was too many people to introduce in 10 minutes and still give me any time to actually care what happens to any of them. At a minimum, they probably could have cut out the whole neighbor part, and the story would have been perfectly fine. I get that they used the webisode with the neighbor to set the scene for later, so when the husband comes back to get the truck keys and he ends up getting killed, we're not like, oh my god, why are there kids in the basement? But I don't think that explanation was really necessary. In the first webisode, when the woman was, after she'd gotten into the accident and she was going through the streets looking for her kids, you see walkers on the sidewalk eating someone. At this point, you realize there's probably a problem, and then later on when the stepmother gets bitten, it's pretty obvious that there's some kind of zombie apocalypse thing going on. Because of that, when the husband gets killed by the kid walkers, I don't feel like at that point it would have been like, walkers, where'd they come from? I know that there's a problem with zombies at this point, so it wasn't really that out of the ordinary, I guess, to find them in the basement. I don't think we needed the neighbor to tell us about it, and it might have actually made the whole story a bit scary if we didn't actually expect the kids to be there. I hate to sound really negative about the whole thing, but after seeing the regular episodes of The Walking Dead and knowing what this would have been capable of, or I guess could have been capable of, I just didn't really love them. Maybe I set my expectations too high for a 10-minute thing. But overall, I'd have to say I give the webisodes about 2.5 busters. Good action, great makeup and effects, but I honestly didn't feel there was enough time spent making me care about any one of those people and what happened to them. I'm also going to throw in there that I thought the acting was marginal, especially the husband. I might be a very terrible person when I say this, but when he got killed in the basement, I chuckled a little bit because at least I didn't have to watch him act anymore. But you know what? I'm over it. It's totally cool at this point anyway because there's less than 10 days to the season 2 premiere, and I'm so excited about that. Last thing I just want to say is that I absolutely love your podcast, guys. You've had some awesome commentaries, some great interviews, especially with like Norman Reedus and Michael Rooker, and then just the other day with T-Dog. Those are really cool. I can't wait for you guys to get back on a weekly schedule once the show starts up again. Have a great one, guys. Bye.
I'd forgotten about that CPR kill. Yeah, that was really gnarly.
See, I didn't think I agree with Liz and you that it was gnarly, but did it look wrong? Did it look like she didn't really bite the lip? Like all of a sudden blood was just shooting out? Like something
the
tongue. Yeah. I don't know. Something. I'm gonna have to watch that again. Something about that was like it looked like it was maybe rushed or edited in a hurry or something. And I don't know. Who knows? It might have been like an internet glitch for all I know. I'll have to watch that part again. I just want to thank Liz, and I would say at this point the consensus seems to be weak acting and characterization and good zombies and gore for the webisodes.
I just want to shout Dixon's Vixens before we're done with Liz's voicemail because they've been really great supporters of the show and really helped us out a lot. So major props to them.
You know what else is in less than 10 days?
New York Comic Con, bitches.
Comic-Con. We will be there. All of us on this recording will be there in some form or fashion at some time. So you can expect if there's any breaking news, if there's panels, that A, will be covering it, and B, will be either tweeting, Facebooking, or who knows, there might be some random drunk audio that shows up on the feed at some point. You never know what's going to happen. It is Comic-Con.
Yeah, this is The Walking Dead. Blah.
Yeah, drink, buys food, buys sports cars, something.
And all we know,
Walking Dead cast.
I must say that all we know about Walking Dead at New York Comic Con right now is that there will be a panel on Saturday evening at, I'm going to say 5:30. There has not been any other press release from AMC yet regarding who will be there, what they will be showing, I don't know, panel screenings, nothing. All we know is that there is the one big panel in the IGN Theater at 5:30 Saturday night. So we'll see what we get.
Yeah, it's like Walking Dead and then the Avengers. So we'll be all riled up by the time we get out of there.
That's going to be awesome.
And if you are going to be at New York Comic Con this coming weekend, check us down on Facebook or on the Twitter. Let us know, and we'd definitely love to meet any of our listeners that are going to be at the Comic Con, or especially at the Walking Dead panel, since we'll be there.
Just look for a really tall guy right next to a really short guy. That'll be me and Jim.
Or
Look for the green hat formerly worn by Fidel Castro. That'll be me.
We're going streaking. You can wear your green hat. What else we have, Jordan?
One last bit of news to talk about right before the end of the show is the not the pilot, but the season 2 premiere has been screened for at least some critics. Of course, they're under embargo to talk about it too much. They can't give the reviews yet, but the early words I'm hearing, the early buzz is that it's very good, and that we're not sure exactly where in relation to the parts of the episode or the season that Darabont left, but the early reports are this feels like season 1. This feels very good, and it's hasn't suffered so far, at least in the premiere. So I cannot wait for the season premiere. It sounds awesome.
Have we on the last? Because I don't think I was on the last news show. Have we talked about Nicotero being promoted to one of the showrunners? Or
I don't think we
I
have.
think we have.
yeah, I mean that was a huge deal at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's nice that they're honoring his hard work there by giving him some control.
And he's from Pittsburgh.
I think at this point, the fear and the paranoia of Frank Darabont stepping down has kind of worn off. I mean, everything's been kind of positive since then. So the red alert is definitely down.
But the moment anything happens on any episode that anybody remotely doesn't like, it'll be, this is because Darabont left, and regardless of whether that actually has anything to do with him or budget cuts or anything else. I mean, there was hokey things in season 1, but we can always hope for the best, and I certainly do.
And what else are we going to do with our time? We have to surf on the internet and read ridiculous comments.
So, John, what's our schedule here on out till season premiere starts and after?
Tuesday is the magic day. I think there's a chance this show will be out earlier than Tuesday. It'll be out Tuesday the latest, though. And then as The Walking Dead begins, we will do Tuesday shows. Usually we get them out pretty early in the morning. So we're going to record the night after the show and get it out on Tuesday. So, get your voicemails in, tweet, Facebook, your reactions, all that good stuff. We love to get to the feedback as we talk about each episode. And we're excited. And how many do we have before the break? 6 in a row?
I think it's 6.
I want to say it's 7 or 8, actually.
No, it wasn't. I know it wasn't that many. It was 6 at the most.
So we're going to have a decent run of at
What's
least...
the actual date of the premiere, guys?
October 16th.
Right.
I believe 9 p.m. actually this time around. I think. But 9 or 10.
We may, and that's the thing where I guess it's kind of up in the air. I mean, this may be a little inside baseball here, but if for some reason they decide to screen the premiere at the panel or at some function during New York Comic Con, there is maybe a slim remote possibility that we could record live, all of us there. We may just do the episode, while we're all gathered in a room together and actually record that way.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
We make an audio of yelling at Sarah Wayne Callies telling her she sucks. Well, we don't think she sucks, but people hate Laurie, so they yell stuff, but not me. So that's pretty much the deal. We'll see you every Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to do during the season break. We'll probably need a break to some extent. Maybe we'll put out a couple of shows before it picks up again and heads for the home stretch. So it's going to move fast now. We've been waiting all this time, and season 2 is going to fly right by. And that is all for me. So Jordan, bring us home. Last closing before season 2.
All right, so until there's no more room left in hell and Dead Walk the Earth, remember, you can leave us a voicemail at 516-468-7912, an email at comments@walkingdeadtv.com. Check out Half Hour Wasted on Mondays and Legion of Dudes on Thursdays. Check out Out Now with Aaron and Abe, our weekly new release movie show. Check out Facebook groups for LODHHW, WDTV, Media Minutes, and Out Now with Aaron and Abe. Follow us on Twitter at WDTV Podcast and at HHWLOD_network. And we'll see you when the season begins.
Good night.